Everyone, I'm Nanya Luri from BSc 1-9 and my professor is Miss Alexis R. Alcantara. So today I'm gonna discuss you the two theories that assigned to me. First is the social learning theory and the second is cognitive theory and who proposed that two theories. So let's start. Social learning theory. So what is social learning theory? Social learning theory proposed by Canadian-American psychologist Mr. Albert Bandura that emphasized the importance of observing, modeling, and imitating the behaviors, attitudes, and emotional reaction of others. The theory considered how environmental and cognitive factors influence the human learning and behavior. For example, the experiment of Mr. Albert Bandura, the Bobo doll. Bobo doll. Um, there's a Bobo doll in there's a room with the Bobo doll and with the other toys. Then we have a model, the adult, and the two or three groups of children. Then in the first room, the adult and the children entered, and the adult do is attack the Bobo doll, kick, kick it and punch it. That's the that's the action of adult when when he or she saw the Bobo doll. She kick it and punch. Then the group of children just observing what the adult do. And after that, there's a room again that have a Bobo doll and a toys. But there's no have adult na or wala nang kasama yung mga bata na pumasok doon sa pangalawang kwarto. Then the first group of children, ang ginawa nila is they attack the Bobo doll. They kick it and punch it na kung ano yung nakita nila kanina sa adult dun sa model natin. Then some other kids or some other children, they are playing the toys in that room, but they didn't attractive in Bobo doll. So that's the explanation or experiment of Mr. Albert Bandura or to introduce the social learning theory. Kumbaga, kung ano nakikita kung ano ang ginawa ng matanda at ang nakita ng bata, yun ang gagawin at gagawin ng mga bata. So, next, the positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. What is positive reinforcement? Positive reinforcement is a process that strengthens the likelihood of particular response by adding a stimulus after the behavior is performed. For example, um, I got a high score, high score in my test. That's the positive that's the positive stimulus. I got I get a high grade. Then then the reinforcement is um um uh I'm adding I'm gonna increase my studying, or mag-aaral pa ako ng mabuti para ma-maintain ko yung ganitong kataas na grades. That's the reinforcement. Mag-aaral ako ng mabuti. That's the positive reinforcement. Then the negative reinforcement is strengthens the likelihood of a particular response, but by removing an undesirable consequence. For example, I'm avoiding getting sunburn. Then my reinforcement is naglagay ako ng sunblock. So I'm avoiding getting sunburn. That's my negative stimulus. Then my reinforcement is putting a sunblock to my skin, just to basta hindi lang ako magkaroon ng sunburn. So that's the negative reinforcement. But add ko lang guys na hindi porket sinabing positive it means good, or pag sinabing negative it means bad. Then just reminder, positive reinforcement means adding stimulus. Then the negative reinforcement is remove a stimulus. Then next is positive punishment and negative punishment. What is positive and negative punishment? So first, positive punishment is representing a adversive consequence after an undesired behavior is exhibited, making the behavior less likely to happen in the future. For example, I'm driving a car, napabilis yung takbo ko, then na ano ako ng traffic enforcer na tikitan ako. So, kumbaga sa sarili ko ay hindi ko na uulitin na magpatakbo ng mabilis ng sasakyan para hindi na ako matikitan. So, parang lesson learned, parang ganon. Yung ginawa, or yung nasa isip ko, or yung ginawa rin sa akin ng reinforcement, I mean, ng law enforcer, na tinikitan niya ako for speeding. Then the negative punishment is when a certain reinforcing stimulus is removed after a particular undesired behavior is exhibited, resulting in a behavior happening less often in the future. Halimbawa, sutil ako. I'm just driving again. Yes, natikita na ako. Nag-drive ulit ako ng mabilis. Then, may sumita na naman ulit sa akin na traffic enforcer na, ma'am, natikitan ka na po, so hindi ka pa rin po nagtitino. So, kukunin po namin lisensya nyo, or hahatakin na lang po namin yung sasakyan nyo. That's the example of negative punishment. Next, guys, reminder, reinforcement means you increasing a behavior. Then, punishment means you are decreasing behavior. Nagbabawas ka ng behavior. Then, basta reinforcement means increasing behavior, punishment, decreasing behavior. Okay? Okay? Dito na tayo sa cognitive theory or social cognitive theory. What is social cognitive theory or cognitive theory? It is a learning occurs in a social context with a dynamic and reciprocal interaction of the person, environment, and the behavior. Emphasis on social influence and its emphasis on the external and internal social reinforcement. This theory considered the unique way in which individuals acquire um, and maintain behavior, while also considering the social environment with which individuals perform the behavior. This theory takes into amount of persons, past experiences, which factor into whether behavioral action will occur. occur. These past experiences influence reinforcement, expectation, and expectances, all of which space shape rather all of which shape whether a person will engage in a specific behavior and the persons why a person engages in the behavior. Okay. Um, these the five constructs were developed as a part of social learning theory, and the construct of self-efficacy was added when the theory evolved into social cognitive theory or cognitive theory. First is reciprocal reciprocal determin- determinism. This is the central concept of social cognitive theory. This refers to the dynamic and reciprocal interaction of a person or a individual that has a set of learned experiences, then environment, the external social context, and the behavior is the responses to stimulus to achieve the goals. For example, I'm the person, I'm the individual. Um, I love playing volleyball. Yes, I love playing volleyball. Then, then the environment, kumbaga, dito sa amin, may palaro ng volleyball. So, so I joined. Then, my behavior is to perform what experience that um what I what I know in playing volleyball. So, kumbaga, cycle lang yan. Sa person, ako yon na my interest is playing volleyball. Sa environment naman is nagpaliga si SK, ganon. Then, I joined in that um, league. Then, the behavior is I played and that I'm enjoying playing volleyball. So that's an example of reciprocal determin um, determinism. Next, the behav- behavioral capability refer to a person's actual ability to perform a behavior through essential knowledge and skills. To successfully perform a behavior, a person must know what to do and how to do it. People learn from the consequences of their behavior, which also affect the environment in which they live. Kumbaga, um, kumbaga, um, naranasan mo na to, or, ay, alam ko na yung gagawin ko na to. Ay, ito yung pagkakamali ko nun, kaya babaguhin ko na. Kumbaga, nakukon um you can control your behavior na I'm not gonna do it again. I'm just um ibahin ko, gusto ko ganito para in the end um the outcome has a good and a positive. Kumbaga natuto ka na sa pagkakamali mo. Yun yun ang behavioral capability. You have you have you have a control yourself. Then next is observational learning. This is asserts that people can witness and observe a behavior conducted by others, and then modeling of behaviors. If individuals see a successful demonstration of behavior, they can also complete the behavior successfully. For example, okay, idol idol ko si Ara Galang from DLSU volleyball team. Then his idol ko siya. Then I love playing volleyball. So parang ang naging model ko is si Miss Ara Galang from DLSU volleyball player. Then okay, so ganito masipag siya mag-practice. Um um he practice a lot. Then he enjoy playing she enjoying playing volleyball. Then yun ang gagawin ko na para maging successful and professional volleyball player rin ako na katulad ni Ara Galang. So kumbaga na-observe ko yung sa pagiging observer na-observe ko yung paglalaro ni Ara Galang in a court or playing a volleyball. Kumbaga, ganun yung observational learning. Then next is reinforcement. This refers to the internal or external responses to a person's behavior that affect the likelihood of being self-initiated or in the environment. And reinforcements can be positive or negative. So yun nga, yung kanina dun sa may social learning theory, um, na, um, natakal ko siya dun sa positive and negative reinforcement. This is the construct of the CST or the social cognitive theory that must closely tied to the reciprocal relationship between behavior and environment. So, etong reinforcement or etong tinutukoy dito sa may reciprocal relation between environment and behavior is yun yung ano natin sa reciprocal determinism. So yun nga, parang it's a cycle that I'm individual, I'm interested in playing volleyball. So my environment is may paliga, si SK, then I join. That's my environment. Then my behavior is I'm enjoying playing volleyball and join to that league. And yes, that's the behavior of me of having an interest volleyball and playing a volleyball. Next is expectation. This refers to the anticipated consequence of a person's behavior. Outcome expectation can be health related or not health related. People anticipate the consequences of their action before engaging in the behavior, and these anticipated consequences can influence the successful com- completion of behavior. Expectation derive largely from previous experience, while expectancies also derive from previous experience. Expectancies focus on the value that is placed on the outcome and are subjective to the individual. Kumbaga, kumbaga, a person's knowledge has much to has much to do with what she or he expect outcome of society, and his or her beliefs belief are are related to what he believes that outcomes of his or her action will be. Kumbaga ganon. Then next is self-efficacy. Self-efficacy. This refers to the level of person's confidence in his or her ability to successfully perform a behavior. Self-efficacy is unique to social cognitive theory, although other theories are added. This construct at later dates, such as the theory of planned behavior. Self-efficacy is influenced by a person's specific capabilities and others' individual factors, as well as by environmental factors or the barrier and the facilitators. Kumbaga, ito, example na lang guys, sa pagiging teacher, mataas ang confident ni teacher na magturo. Then, he or she wants a feedback galing sa students niya. Kung dun na makikita, mag-evaluate na kung may natutunan ba si student kay teacher. Kasi ang taas ng confident or self-efficacy ni teacher sa pagtuturo. Tapos pag ano ba, mataas ang self-efficacy ni teacher, ang ibig sabihin nun, naiintindihan rin siya ni student or may naiintindihan si student. Kumbaga, pag nagtanong si teacher, nagets ba ako? Naganon ba ako? Okay ba? Tapos biglang, yes teacher. Tapos kumbaga, pag nag-yes or naintindihan nga ng estudyante, nataas yung self-efficacy ni teacher or lalong pinapataas nito yung confident ni teacher. So, ayun, the environment is his or her students. So, yun lang. Yun ang self-efficacy ng social cognitive theory. So, this is the references of social learning theory and social cognitive theory. So, yon. Thank you for listening.